Huh. Oh, there. Hopefully. These are charged. Okay. Hopefully these will stay charged. We might be down to the wire on it, but we'll see how it goes. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you had a great day. These were out from when I was doing a shuffle earlier. I found it interesting that something that was clearly down from the depths has come back to the surface. It could be something that was totally hidden for quite some time that someone was hoping would be hidden for quite some time and actually stay hidden, considering they threw it in the ocean. Whatever was uncovered, whatever was brought back up to the surface is really taking a toll on this individual or the situation. It's really heavy weight to bear. It could be about some kind of theft. That's a weird sound. I've never heard that before. I guess that would be a confirmation. I don't even know where that came from. I don't know if you guys heard it or not. Super weird. All right, so it could be about some kind of theft, changing hands. Someone got their hands dirty. And someone's kind of freaking out about it. They've got their frizzy hairdo. Could have something to do with the cabin. Maybe something transpired in a cabin or in the woods. And they're saying, we'll see you next lifetime. Maybe someone's packing up and they're going to be moving to the mountains. Again, this is my lodge card as well. Teeth are connected to different organs in your body, so it could have something to do with some kind of organs or a connection to organs. Someone could be all the wiser. Could be a very deep, oh, look, we have the network underneath. And a spider web trapping their prey. The networks are trapping their prey. They do this not only on the earthly plane, but in the spiritual planes as well. I mean, basically, they start on the spiritual planes because they want to control one's mind and control one's beliefs and controls one's choices and control one's thought processes and feelings and emotions and everything else of that nature. And then they bring it down to the earthly plane, down into the 3D. And of course, it has that connection to the lower dimensions of the dark entities. Can you hear me? Are you listening? Perhaps there is somebody who's listening. Perhaps someone is hearing everything that you say, hearing everything that is said around you. But there is a deep connection to the higher realms, in the spiritual world, to the divine. Could also represent a twin flame, if you believe in that sort of thing. You don't have to marry your twin flame. Usually your twin flame is the person that kind of ignites the change that starts within you in order to become a better person, in order to get on the pathway to do what you were actually meant to be doing here. Stability, intuition, higher education, the connection between the physical and the spiritual world, awakening, divine guidance, a call to a higher purpose, transition and elevation, synchronicities, paying attention to your thoughts. Can you hear me? You want to pay attention to those thoughts and to whatever the divine might be whispering to you to do, to follow, to think, to pay attention to consider, to think about. Someone could have been trying to freeze that gift and take it away from you, but that whole efforts on trying to freeze something was stopped. It was balanced out. It was taken care of. It was healed. It was moderated. This temperature gauge, it says it's very hot, right? This is frozen. So the ice melted. We have a commitment card here. Someone was very committed to doing this. Someone ratted them out. They were a stick in the mud. Somebody ratted out somebody who was trying to do these things to people, and they were causing people to be stuck, literally. We've got the hot air balloon and the witch's hat. Someone was seriously trying to blow up someone's world. Now they're frustrated. No more victim blaming. No more tormenting the victim or making matters worse for the victim or making someone appear to feel like a victim so that that way they can explain the situation off a little bit easier. Someone's been watching this the entire time. And nobody knows that they've been there watching this whole thing the entire time. They've been taking notes. They've been writing the story down. Who's in whose pocket? What skeletons do they keep? Who is just a mindless follower? Who calls the shots? Everybody knows their place and their formation. Who's the leader? Again, who are the mindless ones that just follow the orders? We've got the shades and the sun. Isn't that interesting? And the light. You gotta love timing. The synchronicities that we were talking about here. Someone could be trying to actually sail away to get away from this situation, right? Could be the case. Could be the case. I actually love how this little incense holder turned out. It's cute, right? So lighting incense is just half of what needs to be done in order to cleanse your energy after all this comes out. Something that they did over and over and over again with the Act 1, Scene 2. They conducted magic here on a person's ability to even build something. Considering that this was the fact that someone wasn't even invited to the funeral, now they want to make up for it? Really? I guess a funeral is really just a ceremony, right? The person, the essence of the individual that maybe who had passed, isn't really there at wherever the funeral was. Their essence and their energy is just around you. Whenever you think about them, they are near. So a funeral, being invited to it, I guess it really doesn't matter, does it? You can send your condolences and you can have your thoughts to the person anytime you'd like. You don't need a funeral for other people to witness your feelings about the matter. It's actually just a personal thing anyway, right? To hear other people speak about it, to hear other people speak about the person you already knew, it's not really that important, I guess. But it is kind of peculiar when they don't invite you to the funeral. Sometimes you gotta ask, I wonder why. Do I need to say it again? Seems a little sus to me. Kind of like the laptop that they try to dump into the water and hope that nobody would find it. It's like, why in the world would you take someone's laptop and dump it into the water in the first place? I have a feeling that someone's been hearing things. Maybe they're hearing what's been said, what you've said. Maybe they're hearing whoever funeral you weren't invited to, they might hear them in their ear. Bottom of the deck, we've got the A line. I finally drew a picture. The A line is twofold. It's a short haircut in the back and it's long in the front, and it's also the shape of a dress, right? It starts skinny at the top and it flares at the bottom. Something so small, but yet it gets so big, right? Someone doesn't want someone else to know that something's going to be shorted. There was meant to be more to it than what will be shared or shown or spoken about. There's way more to it. Center of the deck. We've got that lipstick. They're hoping whatever it is that they do come in with, it's going to make up for a lot. They'll be enunciating their words, perhaps. Maybe they'll be very particular with the words they choose. They want everything to be just so. They want everything to seem right, to go together, to make sense, to match. Coffee cup is coming out again and again and again. Someone spilling the beans. Spilling the beans, grinding those beans up, and making coffee. Has to do with some pills, some medication, maybe how someone was being a pill, or maybe someone needs medication. Maybe someone's grinding up medication into somebody's coffee. Or maybe that's the story that they're going to tell. When you're not invited to the funeral. Do you think that's why you weren't invited to the funeral? Because maybe you just have a sense of things? Maybe they just knew that you could just look around and you can see who's doing what, who's saying what, who's acting certain way, and that you would be able to determine that something just wasn't right. We've got belly rub. Somebody's quite vulnerable. Dogs will only show you their bellies when they feel very safe and they trust you, you know. Because when they're on their backs and they're showing you their bellies, they're in a very vulnerable situation or position. We've got the knight, someone playing chess. It's also the horse, the knight in shining armor, taking the lead, chivalry. So we've got trust and chivalry so far, huh? Trust in the process, planning steps ahead. We've got the sail away again, the light coming out again. You guys saw me shuffling. We've got the orca coming out again. The split of the deck cards were here in the middle with the funeral, and these were all up here in the beginning. The ice again. The frizzy hair. So we already know about what's happening in this story, right? Someone needs a break, a vacation, something. Something's coming to light. The fact that someone tried to throw something deep down and hope that it got stuck there or it froze there or that nobody would ever see it again. And now that the ice is melting, because obviously it's not in the freezer anymore, someone is freaking out. They thought they took care of it. I know there's been several occasions when I've taken care of my hair, folks. I've combed my hair, I've brushed my hair. I could even put products in my hair, but it's still gonna come out like I didn't do anything, like it's a mess. My mom used to comb my hair when we go to my grandmother's house, and within 2 hours, my hair was a nightmare. It had to be rebrushed again. And then by the time we would get into my grandmother's house, my grandmother would make a comment about, why don't you brush the girl's hair? It's just the way it was made, but somebody is freaking out. No matter what they do. We've got the oil change. Did they try to change the oil themselves? Did they try to take care of this whole situation themselves? I mean, they could have even went to a professional, right? Someone they trusted. I was at the I was somewhere today and the person told me, "Go ahead and take it to the dealership or a trusted mechanic." That word trusted was so loud and clear. And it's in that case where you have to ask, do you know a trusted mechanic? You've got that temperature coming out again. When pigs fly. You know, when you don't change your oil, it causes your engine to overheat, right? It makes it have to work a whole lot harder. This knight in shining armor could be trying to test someone's temperature here. Never in a million years did you ever think that you'd be going on a vacation, right? Maybe a vacation's on the horizon. Wouldn't that be nice? I've never been on a cruise before, let alone out of the country. I've never been out of the country. Except for Mexico, but that was back like when I was a teenager. Other than that, I've probably been to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 states. Maybe 9. No, 10, 11. I've probably been to 11 states. Never been out of the country that I know of. Just saying. We've got a gesture here, someone who was hired to distract somebody. That's their job, to distract someone, entertain someone. Maybe whomever that is coming to light, is being exposed. Someone made a saying. What did they say? It was about the light. The light is always the light in the dark. The dark can never overpower the light because when the light is turned on, the darkness disappears. You can't have the light and the dark at the same time. The light is always going to overpower the dark. Always remember that. And it boggles my mind where people think that there's ever a chance that the darkness will ever overpower the light. Because even in the meaning of the words and the action of the words, it's impossible. It's truly impossible. Even if you are think about a star. You're in the universe, right? And it's the mass of darkness. When that little light, that little star shines, bloop, there in the darkness, you see the light. It cannot make the light disappear. When you're in the depths, in the bottom of the ocean, and it's darker than all dark, what happens? When a little angler, I think it's the anglerfish, comes by and turns on its little lamp that's supposed to attract its prey, that light comes on and it lights up the whole area. The darkness is no longer in that area, right? The light will always win. We've got a bicycle here. Someone's in the hot seat. It's a man-made situation. Gesture might be riding on a bicycle. Maybe they don't have a car anymore and they have to ride a bike. Nothing wrong with that. I took the bus for I can't tell you how long when I was pregnant. Because somehow I totaled my car. I was 4 months pregnant and totaled my car. The baby was fine. So I ended up having to take the bus to my doctor's appointments all the way across town. And I was in school. Taking the lead. Someone's taking the lead here. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? We've got the violin upside down. I was just thinking, I'm sure when I tell these stories or I share what I've dealt with, People probably think, oh, it's like, whoa. No, it just goes with the story, folks. I don't think much about the stuff that I've gone through because it's just a part of the life and the journey and the path that I was destined to take. You know? When you got to get stuff done, you get it done. We've got the violin. We're making beautiful music in this case. It's not a sad song. It's a symphony. Taking a lead on this man-made adventure. Someone's bitter. Maybe they don't like the fact that I'm okay with everything. Maybe someone's mad at the fact that you're okay with everything. We've got braids. We've got Red Rover. They're trying to weave a web. They're trying to get everybody over to their side. They're trying to infect everybody that you know to be bitter. So that way you're left standing on your side by yourself. And perhaps they've come to some people, or they have some kind of opposition where the person they have come to say, hey, come on over to our side. And someone's saying, when pigs fly. Or maybe you would think that there's certain people that they've approached to have them come over to their side. And in your mind, you're saying, when pigs fly, will they ever do that? And will they ever just leave me here and go to the other side, to the other team? But the pig is flying. So in that case, maybe you will take a vacation. Maybe you will go and enjoy some time out alone. Maybe you will enjoy being on a cruise. And the people can wave at you. Bye. Oh my goodness, shark. Yep. They're hunting the people you know. They're trying to have them all turn their backs on you. They're distracting these people, offering them fish. Oh, look at that. They could even be using the voodoo dolls to drive their point across. If people aren't so willing and accepting of their offers, perhaps they'll go ahead and get a voodoo doll and make the voodoo doll accept their offers. All right. Cocoon. Transformation. Evolution. Break it down, break it down, break it down so you can build yourself back up. The caterpillar doesn't stay in the cocoon forever. What happens after it's in there and it's done its process? We've got plastic. Comes out strong, right? Resilient. Useful. Takes a long time to break down plastic, doesn't it? We got hopscotch, hop, skip, and a jump. Rolling the dice. Someone's playing some games and they're gambling here. Could be a Scorpio. From what I know, scorpions, they want to be just left alone, folks. Don't even go and hassle with a scorpion, because they will sting you. Just leave them alone. We've got honey. They're offering them some fish and some honey. They're bitter their games didn't turn out right. We've got saith the Lord, speaking with some kind of authority. So they're probably using the voodoo doll. This is a man-made situation. Things are being uncovered. Perhaps they're going into people's records and they're uncovering things. And so they're going to make man-made issues and problems for these people if they don't comply to what they want. Like they're going all out using different avenues of ways to try to get people to turn on you. They're even trying to use bully tactics, like I am the authority. You will do what I say. This is what it is. And maybe they're trying to be so convincing about the matter when it's just when they're just blowing air. They're just blowing air around. This is the fan card in case you can't see it. What are they circulating? They're circulating these words. Oh, the fun house. Did you know that a fun house is also another term for a brothel? I had no idea. Distorted view of self, self-imposed maze and obstacles, ability to laugh at it yourself, entertaining, moving floors, a chaotic, disordered environment, and it's also slang for brothels. It's an explicit word, but you can say it in a polite way while you're having conversations. So they could be trying to circulate the word that somebody is, maybe somebody's a honeypot and they are part of a brothel and their life is just chaotic and fake. Maybe they're saying someone uses voodoo. Maybe they're saying that they're a gambler. Maybe they're saying that they'll stab you in the back, perhaps, for no reason. Oh my goodness, they're going to go on to say this person is homeless. And crickets. That's why you don't ever hear from this individual, because they're homeless. Heck, maybe they're traveling. Maybe they're taking a jump into the unknown and they're hoping that they're going to land all right. You don't play games with somebody's livelihood, folks. You just don't. Someone's trying to bridge something. It could be a Scorpio who's trying to bridge the gap between things. Bridging the gap between two different people. Could be another way to make people come on over. Making it easier for people to come over. You've got a parasite. And a delivery. A package. Mail order. Maybe someone's bringing a parasite or having a parasite delivered from overseas in somebody's package. Maybe if you get any mail or you made some orders or anything, you might want to open it outside with gloves on. Maybe there's going to be an official word that's being delivered. If they were going on and they were saying, circulating some kind of bad things about somebody, maybe they were saying that someone else is a parasite. And they say that they just jump from one project to another project. We've got trash, circulating trash. Of course they are. And cheese with holes in it. We've got our Swiss cheese. There's holes in their story. There's holes in their finances and their explanation for the finances through all the chaos. It's fake chaos, and there's holes in the money. Someone's tired of listening to their song and dance. It's driving them nuts. We've got the vulnerable, the trust. They wanted someone to trust them, but there's holes in the story. Can you guys tell I'm getting tired? We've got our fellowship house as the outcome. Wait a minute now. What's the center card? The center card of the whole spread is the shark here. The shark will always kind of like, what's the word? I wanted to say meander around the environment to see what it can feast on. The shark is very intentional in what it keeps its focus on. So they have one person who distracts, and then they have one person who does the surveillance, right? And then they try to give them some kind of sweet little story. And then they become a parasite, like a stalker. This could be a fellowship that's doing this. Maybe one that's from the desert. You've got a ruler, CEO, taking measure, planning. Planning a home for two. It's a slow process. One more. The rodeo. Or rodeo. Again with the distraction though, and trying to capture something. Lasso up that calf. Yeehaw! I have exposed at the top of the deck. We've got a hug. Be mindful of someone that tries to hug you. Maybe you don't know them very well. We've got a W, first, middle, or last initial. Take me back, upside down. They already know you're not going to take them back. We've got a contract that's over because it's upside down. We have boundaries that are over. No more boundaries. Ahead of time. This contract of trying to get close to somebody is over. They know they're not going to be taken back. You won't even give them a hug. They've run out of time. Yeah, it's ahead of time, but they ran out of time. It's not going to happen. Maybe they were supposed to try to get close enough to you to hug you and to cross the boundaries. That was part of the contract. And then in that turn, that they would be able to maybe ghost you, but maybe you decided to ghost them before it could even go anywhere. And so the contract was over because you ended it ahead of time. It was a project that didn't work. It was a plan that didn't work. Right? There was this plan that was happening to leave someone in the desert, to dry out somebody's emotions, to pretend like they wanted to have fellowship with you, to have something spiritual, something important. It was all a plan to become a couple here. But you ended it ahead of time. Booze, someone's drinking some booze. I can't even tell you the last time I even had an alcoholic beverage. I have no idea. It had to have been like maybe 4 years ago if I didn't have like maybe one drink at... No, I don't even think I've had even one drink. I might have had a glass of wine. We've got a donor here. Was that the project? Booze donor. Maybe they were going to take you out for drinks. And that didn't happen because you said no. Or actually didn't say anything. You probably just never called them back. Someone's bored. Judas is bored, folks. Judas is bored. Is Judas bored with all the drinking? Is he bored of being a donor? Judas knows you're not taking him back. Poor Judas. There was another, I think it was a Jacob that was another little trickster person. Compromise upside down. Do not ever compromise. We've got box coming out again. Someone wanted to keep you in a box or put you in a box. They wanted you to pass away. Or somebody passed the box. We've got memories here, a muse. The memories of you are their muse. Wow, these are all upside down. Here's the spy is not upside down. And that brings us back to the very beginning of the story where we had that observer. With that being said, folks, I'm going to call it a night. I hope that you sleep well. And if you're seeing this during the day, I hope you have a wonderful day. Make it great because only you can. Take care. Thanks for being here. Make sure you like and subscribe, okay? Take care.